You recoil from the insidious green cloud and fall back towards the cell door. Your mastery of Nexus protects you from this highly poisonous gas, but the jailer and Lord Nathan are not so fortunate. Both are vulnerable to its deadly effect. Choking and retching, they collapse to the floor, their fingers grappling at their swelling throats as they fight desperately for breath. You grab hold of their tunics, one in each hand, and drag their bodies out of the cell into the cleaner air of the corridor beyond. Here, you use your magnified discipline of curing to ease the effect of the poison gas. Your skill and the swiftness of your action saves them from a painful, suffocating death.
You don't say.
What happened? Wheezes Nathor as he slowly recovers from the deadly gas. You peer into the cell at the man now hanging limply in chains, and you turn to Nathor and says, "Suicide. A suicide and an attempted murder. The prisoner just killed himself with a poisoned pellet, and it seems his last wish was to take all three of us with him." When you sense that the poisonous gas is dissipated and the air is no longer perilous to breathe, you enter the cell and take one last look at the prisoner's body. The man's face and upper body has been horribly disfigured by the effects of the gas, yet the extensive blistering has only partially destroyed a small tattoo on the side of his neck. It is a six-pointed star, which you recognize to be the national symbol of Eldenora. "He must have died within seconds of biting into the poisoned pellet," says Nathor. "It chills me to think that whoever sent him here commanded such respect from this man that he chose to die in this way rather than face the consequences of failing his mission. Hey, and if there are others like him who are out to stop me," you reply easily, "then my journey home to someone may prove more difficult than I expected."
And because it's sort of obligatory, you fucking think?
Well, why can't we ever just go somewhere nice and easy?
Because
Snor hates you.
I'm looking at the map here. If we have to journey overland, now I'd like to point out that if this man is from Eldenora and Eldenora is against us, it's squarely between. It's standing squarely in the middle of the most direct route between Celestria and Summerland.
Joy. You leave the cell and return to the State Hall, where Lord Constable Nathor reports what has happened to the Queen. Concerned for your safety, she suggests that you spend the night at the Royal Citadel as her guest. You accept her gracious invitation and enjoy a fine feast and the hospitality of her court. Then, shortly after dawn of the following day, you bid Her Majesty and your companion, Lord Arden, a fond farewell before beginning the next stage of your long journey home. Mindful of the dangers, the Queen gives her Lord Constable a royal seal and places him, along with a troop of 10 court cavalrymen, at your disposal. Lord Nathor and his men are to act as your guides and bodyguards on the road to Vanamore, the capital city of neighboring Palmyrion. This republic is closely allied to Telestria and lies along its eastern border. Palmyrion also has close ties with your homeland, and you look forward to the chance of renewing your friendship with its leader, Elector Manatine. Mounted on fine Telestrian steeds, your party leaves the walled city of Garthen by its east gate. Here you cross a great stone bridge on the far side of which is a signpost pointing to the east. It reads, Vanamore, 280 miles. The road which crossed the plains to the east of the river is deeply rutted. Fortunately, though, it is dry, there having been little rain in these parts for weeks. Progress is good, and by midday you and your troops have covered more than 30 miles. You pass many wagons on this road, mostly driven by farmers who are taking their crops to the markets and wharves of Garthen. These wagon drivers seem an unusually loyal and friendly breed. Invariably, they wave and cheer the moment they recognize the uniforms of Queen Evaine's court cavalry.
Huh.
After a brief rest at a village on the road, you continue your ride across the open plains and descend into a wide valley, where a shallow stream winds its way through a mass of reed beds and willow copses. Beyond this valley, the land becomes increasingly hilly. The sun is almost touching the horizon when you come to a small wayside shrine dedicated to the goddess Ishir. Here, a track leads off to the north, and a mile distant, you can make out the walls and tall bell tower of a chateau high in the hills.
I think it's chateau.
Chateau. Apologies.
Yeah. I don't know why they used that word there. It's a French word for castle.
Yeah, okay.
Or big house.
That's how it's usually used.
In some cases it's actually also used for that. That's correct.
That's the monastery of the Vedarish Brethren, says Nathor. They are a holy order devoted to the worship of the goddess Ishir. We will find safe shelter with them this night. The sun has set and dusk is quickly turning to darkness by the time the troop reach the gate of the Vedarish monastery. The brothers of this holy order are led by an elderly monk called Rasparin, whom Nathor has met once before.
May I just add something here? What was his name?
Rasparin.
Okay, I do not want to sound offensive, but anyone that is a monk who starts with the whole rasping is sort of something that makes me nervous, sort of like a Rasputin.
Unless we can have a monk named Raspberry.
You're not taking this whole thing too serious, but seriously, a monk by the start of Ras. It just... I'm afraid of this whole Rasputin guy, so this is not helping.
Let's go meet Brother Raspberry.
The old cleric welcomes him warmly, as if he was his son, and then he invites you to stay here overnight. The monk's evening meal is simple fare, but well prepared and wholesome nonetheless. You get full life.
Yay!
That was 1 health point, so thank you. Good meal.
Afterwards, Rasparin invites you and Nathor to his chambers to sample some of the monk's specialty. A fine...
Shit! What have we gotten ourselves into? He's going to poison us.
Calm down, dude.
Sorry, it was it was something else I thought of. It was another kind of specialty I thought we were gonna sample in his bedchamber.
I'm scared for my life of giving us a pervert.
Okay, I could make a really bad joke here. I won't.
A fine liquor called aquas. You're raising a glass of this golden liquid to your lips, when suddenly the piece is shattered by a loud cawing shriek which echoes through the surrounding hills. Do you wish to use telekinesis?
Yeah.
Sure.
In the name of the gods, blurted Nathor, spilling liquid down the front of his tunic. What was that? A knot of fear tightens in the pit of your stomach. A crone, you reply, recognizing at once the fell cry of this unwelcome creature. You hurry to a window and see the large bat-like crone silhouetted against the moon. A man-sized rider clings precariously to the creature's reptilian back as it swoops and soars among the hills and gullies. You had best come away from the window, my lord, replies an anxious Nathor, lest it detect your presence here. You take heed of the Lord Constable's advice and retreat from the window. Furthermore, you use your Magnifier skill of Side Screen to shield your mind in case the crone rider is able to employ psychic abilities to locate your presence. It's not the first time it has come, says Rasparin. Every night for the past 10 days we heard it circling the hills. Sometimes there's more than one of its kind. He suggests that you bunk in the cellar of the monastery where you may be safer from detection, and you accept his offer gladly.
I see.
For hours the sound of the crone's incessant cry echoes among the surrounding hills, making it difficult for you to sleep at all this night. As you lie awake listening to its ghastly call, a sense of foreboding invades your mind, and despite your strong will you feel powerless to overcome it. Restless and agitated, you get up and pace around the cellar until at last the cawing ceases and a chorus of bird song ushers in the dawn. Lose 3 endurance points because of lack of rest. Not this shit again.
Wow.
So I wonder how long it will be before Lone Wolf will be allowed to sleep this time.
You know what I want to hear about this core thing?
Hmm?
Here's an invitation for you. Call, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
You join.
You've watched The Crow.
Indeed. Good movie.
It is.
And yeah, apart from this, I like that crow. This thing, I do not like. It needs to die.
You join the troop for breakfast with Rasparin and his brothers. During this meal, the elderly monk offers you a flask of aquas to fortify you on the road ahead, and a talisman of Ishir to ward off hostile creatures. They are backpack items, so...
Let me see. Backpack items, so they're not special items, and our current backpack items are at a limit.
Right.
So, do we forsake the, well, apparently good drink and holy item, or do we throw out our ball of string and crystal tiara and stone bowl?
Let's throw out the ball of string and the stone bowl. I don't think we'll need those anymore.
Alright, just let me add that. And those items you said were...
Flask of aquas and a talisman of Ishir.
One moment. And Talisman of Ishir. Hold on, I will write it down in a moment. Talisman of Ishnia. A holy item and an old pop band on a flask.
Yep. After breakfast, Nathor thanks Vesparin for his hospitality and makes a donation of 50 loon to his monastery. If you wish, you can donate some gold crowns to the monastery.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. What money would we be traveling around with now? Let me have a look. Last I checked, we have 50 out of 50 coins in our pockets. You know what? With all the things we're stolen, why not just hand him the whole pocket?
You mean all the gold we have?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we can use it when we're dead.
On the other hand, it seems like we'll have to be traveling overland, so.
Yeah.
Okay, what say we give
So
him
we might need some of the money. We have 50, right? How about we give him 20?
Yeah, I suggested that as much, but yeah, 20 coins. Here's a bunch of coins for you. There you are. Use them wisely.
Overhead, the sun gleams like a jewel in the clear blue sky, and the early morning air bites with a refreshing sharpness, which helps to revive your spirits. A layer of thick frost covers the stony trail from the monastery, and it scrunches loudly under the horse's hooves as you make your careful descent. Soon you rejoin the east road and follow it, through a series of shallow gorges to a thick pine forest where the ground is covered with mossy rocks. Here the road ascends to a crest where a pall of black smoke stains the cloudless sky. As you approach the crest, you suddenly sense danger ahead and shout a warning to Nathor. He commands the troop to halt while you go ahead to assess the situation. Beyond the crest you see a broad valley with steeply wooded sides. At its center there's a village and a large stone building which, when you magnify your vision, you determine to be a church. The roof of this building is ablaze and several bodies lie dotted around its cultivated grounds and gardens. You signal to Nathor to join you, and when he arrives upon the crest, he is able to identify the burning church. "That's Pine Peak's Abbey," he says, his voice stilled with anxiety. "They're in trouble. We must help them." He calls his men to come forward, and before you can caution him, he leads them at a gallop down the steep trail which descends towards the valley floor. Cursing his impetuosity, you spur your steed onward and follow in his wake. You have covered less than half a mile when suddenly your magnified sense of divination screams a warning. The troop is riding directly into an ambush. Desperately you shout for Nathor to halt, but your command goes unheeded. Then from out of the surrounding pines there comes a volley of arrows and spears. One spear penetrates deep into your horse's flank, killing him instantly. Roll the die.
9.
Your horse crashes lifelessly to the ground and you are thrown forward through the air. With cat-like grace you land on your feet among the boulders and bracken which borders this hill road and regain your balance almost immediately. Seconds later you see a yelling horde of leather-clad men, each brandishing a sword or a spear, come rushing from hiding places among the surrounding pines. As they close in upon you, you unsheath your weapon and prepare to fight for your life. You are now fighting Eldenoran ambushers. What's your combat skill? It's... Oh, by the way, your combat skill goes 1 up and your life goes 2 up. I completely forgot that.
Hold on, I need to add that then. Let me see. And that would be that. Okay, let me see. Minus those 3.
So that would mean your combat skill should be at 52 now.
Alright, 52. 52. Huh. Then I also need to upgrade the whole. Yeah, okay.
Alright. So, give an ear. Roll the die.
3.
3. Alright. The ambushers rush you as one, coming in from several sides and use the sheer weight of numbers to try to stab you. Unfortunately, at this point, you're pretty much a demigod, so despite the few nicks they give you, it's not much to worry about. You lose 2 health. Then you swing your sword and decapitate a whole bunch of them. You're starting to wonder why you were worried.
Well, you could worry about the normals.
It might be that I'm worried. It might just be that I have to go to the bathroom really badly.
Yeah. Lomos just swinging his sword, becoming a tornado of death and slaughter. He's just like, you know, I really gotta take a piss right now, but I can't just do this. That would be unseemly.
No, seriously, can we take a break while I go to the bathroom?
I feel pity for this, well, the ambushers now. just swinging their swords like maniacs and crying out loud, "Take us seriously, please!"